Hello, boys and girls. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. How about you, You can come too, too, too. We're going to the zoo, zoo, zoo. I wish we were going to the zoo today. The zoos around here are all closed, or we would have been taking a zoo field trip. Right before we left, I said to Mrs. Flannery, I have to call the zoo. I have to call Zoo America so we can go on a field trip. And guess what? The zoo is closed, so I'm very sad about that. But Miss Wiljeric has put together a book. One time, I got to fly to Texas, which is really far away. I went to the state of Texas. I went to the place called Houston in Texas, where my brother lived, and I got to go to their zoo. Their zoo is huge. It's nothing like Zoo America. Zoo America, I can zoom through there, no problem at Hershey Park. This zoo we went to, I could have stayed there all day, but it was October and it was hot in Texas. It was so hot. We had to go there as soon as the zoo opened. And then by like 1 o'clock, it was getting really hot. So we had to leave the zoo, which was sad because there were so many things to see. And my nephew was just little and he was running me around the zoo saying, Aunt Sue, look at this. Aunt Sue, look at that. Aunt Sue, look at this. And my head was going crazy and I was trying to take pictures. So I took a ton of pictures from the Houston Zoo, which I'm going to show you. Hopefully we don't get too much of a glare because they have some really cool animals there. And I wish I could have taken you all there. But this is the best that I can show you. Now, the funny thing is, this wasn't at the zoo. This was before we went to the zoo. By their house, we went to a little pond. And look, I found this little lizard. They were all over the place down there in Texas. These lizards were everywhere. And then, look, these are turtles. They were swimming in the pond, and we were feeding them goldfish. So the kids were loving every minute of it, feeding them some goldfish. On this page, here was Gabby and my nephew, and there was an otter. I think that's the otter. I don't know. Yeah, there's one here and one there. They were swimming. Actually, I don't even know if they're on that picture. I don't know. And then here was my niece. They were taking a picture with the otters. And then here, there was a monkey in the tree. It was so cool. He was this little tiny monkey jumping all around. And there's Gabby with the monkey. That's when she was really young. And then they had this tunnel that you could climb through, and the fish were all around you. So here you can see some fish. And my nephew was in there looking at the fish. And I kept telling him he was going to turn into a fish if he goes in there. So he loved it. And there's my niece. She's climbing through the tunnel with the fish around her. So very cool thing. They don't really have things like this around here. So it was really cool that they could go inside there. Miss Wiljeric didn't go in. I was afraid I'd get stuck or the fish would come in after me. Now, Texas, we have animals outside called squirrels that are all over the place. In Texas, they have armadillos. Now, my brother told me armadillos in Texas are like squirrels. They're everywhere. Believe it or not, I didn't see one armadillo except for at the zoo. But they were really cool. Now, Zoo America, our Zoo America has these. Gabby actually got to go in with them, and they're really cool. They were walking on her feet and kissing her toes. She did zoo camp there, and the zoo camp there was really cool because they allowed her, now that she's older, to go into the exhibit with the armadillos. They were really neat running around her. And she really liked those. Those are her new favorite animal. But they have a hard covering on the outside. So my brother said, when you're driving in Texas, watch out for armadillos. This is a toucan. Can't really see it real good. He had this really big beak on him. And here was some more fish. And then what's special in this fish tank was we found, who's that? We found Dory. And we also found Nemo, which was neat. Let's see here. Let's go to the next page. Ooh, one of my favorites, jellyfish. They were really cool. I'm not touching one of those. And then they also had this huge Komodo dragon. That's as close as we could get to it. There was glass there. But the kids thought that was really cool. He was really big. He was bigger than what I expected him to be. Here they had meerkats. Remember I said it was Halloween time. It was in October. So they had pumpkins in with the meerkats that they were jumping into. This little guy was just looking at us. That's another meerkat. And then they had these big guys with trunks. These are elephants. And this guy had these big tusks. I was trying to get him. And look at this guy's tusks. My nephew kept yelling at me, Aunt Sue, we gotta go. Because here you can't see it very well. They were giving the elephant a bath. He's like, Aunt Sue, we gotta look at the elephant getting the bath. But this guy was really cool. But by the time I came into the bath and came out, he was gone. So I was glad I got that shot. They have brown bears, which we have brown bears at our zoo. An interesting fact about the brown bear I found out is our zoo, the bears do not hibernate in the winter. They just get lazy because the reason being is they get plenty of food all year, so they don't have to hibernate. They just get lazy in the winter. They had a jaguar. He was cool. They run very, very fast. They also had what we're talking about today with the zoo. We made a picture of a giraffe. See the spots on the giraffe? They're not really circles. They're all different distinct shapes. That April, the giraffe I went up to New York to see, she actually has on her chest here, she has a spot that's shaped like a heart, which is really cool. Okay, and they also had ostriches running in or in with the giraffes. They didn't seem to bother them. They liked it. They were kind of used to each other. Here's some more giraffes. We were very excited to see the giraffes. No, let me see. I don't know. Yes, I didn't know my brother was preparing this. He said, we got to wait in line. We got to wait in line. The giraffes are coming out. I said, well, the giraffes are out already. Well, what I didn't realize was that in a few minutes, we were going to feed the giraffes. So here's a picture of us just with the giraffe in the background. Now this was, look, Gabby's younger in this picture. And it was hot outside because we were hot. It was very hot out in Texas. Now there's my nephew Vincenzo. Look, he has this big leaf of lettuce. This giraffe this was a baby one. But the baby really didn't seem like it wanted to go for the lettuce too much. Here's they're starting to get ready, and look, their heads come way over, so you had to watch, because if you were standing there and you weren't paying attention, one would come around the back of you and try to steal the lettuce out of your hand. So look at that big piece of lettuce he's handing him. Here's Gabby. She's feeding she was trying to get the little giraffe. Then finally the big one came over and grabbed it from her. But they were just, oh, they were beautiful. Here's Miss Woljaric. I'm feeding the giraffe. And then there was my dad is in that picture with Luchinella trying to feed the giraffe. And here they got a better one where she finally got to feed it. But the little one, they were trying to do the little one, but she didn't want it. She was a little scared, so she was staying with my dad very close because she was like, I don't know about these guys. They're bigger than me. And then here's all of us with the giraffe in the background. And that's my dad and my nephew and my niece. And so there again is another, kind of blurry, another shot with the giraffe in the background. More giraffes. We really, as you can tell, we really like the giraffes. Again, another family picture. And then we found these guys. These were the rhinos. They're very big too. You wouldn't think about it, but they're huge. So they had this big fence up. There's like a double fence there that we had to stand back from them. We found a zookeeper. So she just looks like a normal person. She was inside with the rhinos. She came over to talk to us, and we were telling her about Zoo America and Zoo Camp, and she was talking to us about, we were talking about the things there at the zoo. Then we found this monkey. Look at him. He was way back in the exhibit, and I had to zoom in, but he was like just lounging in a hammock, just relaxing, eating the day away. This monkey was eating something. This monkey was laying down, being lazy. Again, they have a glass window there, so the monkeys could come right up to you and interact. So here you can see the kids are there and the monkeys interacting with them. This one was cleaning the other monkey. So they were too worried about cleaning each other. They didn't really care too much about us. Now, this next one, though. Oh, I can't think of what their name is. This guy was not happy with me whatsoever. He was sitting up in this tree, and you can see, look, he's holding up his fist. He was like, get out of here. I can't think of which monkeys these are. They're not a monkey. They're a type of gorilla. But he was not happy whatsoever. He actually, when we were there, look how big silverback is what they were. He came down and he came right up to the glass. Like, look at Gabby standing here at the glass. He came right up to the glass and like looked at us real mean and like banged on the glass and then went running back in. So he was not happy that we were in there looking at him. Which then he climbed back up into the tree. He started eating again. Now this is what he would look like if we actually got to stand with him. They're big. We didn't realize how big they actually are. They're huge. Then when we were outside, I don't know if I have it out here. He then came outside again, and then he was beating his chest really loud outside. So I don't know what he was so mad at, but he did not want us there. Here's a true Texas Longhorn, the only one I saw on my trip at the zoo. They had lions. Now this would probably be a female lion because she doesn't have the big mane around her. Look, Gabby's like, it looks like she's right in the pen. It was really cool. They had a lot of glass up, so you felt like you were right in there with the animal. And lion. Oh, what's this guy? This is our national bird. It's a bald eagle. A bald eagle. Okay. And we have, this is kind of silly. I've never seen one of these before this day. A mongoose. Kind of looks like the meerkat from earlier. Here they're running all around. And then in the mongoose thing, it was kind of cool. They were allowed to, the kids were allowed to go in these bubbles. And the mongoose, but they were too busy. It looked like they had food out, so they were eating the food. Here again, you can see the kids again. More mongooses. They had little toys out for them. These red things were little toys that they were playing with. And then we entered the bat cave. Dun, dun, dun. Wasn't real scary. There was just bats in there. We found a fox sleeping. Here they had a petting zoo. We got to go in and pet goats, and they had like brushes in there so you could pet them. It's a type of deer, zebra-ish type thing. They even had seals, which I may send you a picture tomorrow. Here's one. I forget what he was called, but it was a mix between a zebra and another animal. So look, his legs have zebra stripes, but a body doesn't. They had some beautiful birds. And that is it. So if you get to go to a zoo once they open up, go have fun. Animals are really cool. We learn a lot of things. Like I said, Gabby does zoo camp. She loves it now that she's older. She gets to go in the exhibit. She gets to help change the exhibits, which is really cool. The younger kids don't, but they still do have an age for them where they do a lot of arts and crafts and talk about the animals. They get to pet an animal. Very cool every day. Something fun. But again, I don't think they're doing it this summer just because of everything going on. There's also things called aquariums where you'll see more fish and sharks and things that live in the water. I may send you the link to the National Aquarium down in Baltimore. They do really cool things down there, and I think they have some online things where you can actually go see the animals swimming around. So I will talk to you later. I hope you enjoyed my trip to the zoo since we couldn't go to the zoo today. All right, have a great day. Bye.